and welcome to Top10List.org, where you get a world of knowledge and 10 simple points. Today's episode is going to be about top 10 athletes with short fuses. Let's go ahead and start at number 10 with Joey Barton. He's one of the most famous footballers in England. Despite being famous, he is not really loved. There have been a number of controversial incidents and problems facing him in his career since 2002. He has served 77 days in prison for an assault and affray. He imposed bodily harm on a former teammate during a training dispute in May of 2007. Number 9 is Jens Lehmann. The former Arsenal and Stuttgart goalkeeper is one of the most hated athletes. He has stomped players, relieved himself from being hit while standing behind advertising boards, and has thrown water at referees. His cocky attitude is not appreciated by fans. Number 8 is Dennis Rodman. Rodman is a professional basketball player playing forward for a number of NBA teams in the 1980s and 1990s. He is well known for his superior rebounding abilities as well as his nickname Dennis the Menace. In 2008, he was busted for domestic violence. He was arrested on suspicion of felony and domestic battery. The best scenario was Rodman wore a wedding dress to promote his autobiography. His bout with alcoholism was also publicized. He entered rehab in the May of 2008 and refused to re-enter in May of 2009 to appear on Celebrity Apprentice. Number 7 is Gennaro Gattuso. Gattuso is one of the best defensemen in soccer, despite his bulldog nickname. He's also known to have a short fuse. After the Tottenham game, Gattuso takes the assistant coach Joe Jordan by the throat and then proceeds to headbutt him. In a prior game against Ajax in 2003, he slapped an opponent in the face with the back of his hand. Despite violence, Gattuso has been capped several times for Italy. He's playing in the 200 Summer Olympics and the 2002, 06, and 2010 World Cups. He also played in the 04 and 08 Euro Cups and 2009 Confederations Cup. At number 6 is Sean Avery. He's considered to be one of the biggest pests in NHL history. He throws punches at anyone who comes near him or touches him. Off the ice, he is quite different. He woos Hollywood girls, including Elisha Cuthbert, and dresses professionally, but that did not stop him from being arrested for shoving a cop and taunting him as a fat little pig. Number 5 is Steven Jackson. This basketball player is one of the largest suspensions, awarding him 30 games. He and Ron Artest joined the crowd and onlookers during a game and began throwing punches. The incident was known as the Palace Brawl. They and 7 others were given a ban on NBA, but the decision changed the next day. A slap on the wrist, if you ask me. Number 4 is Mike Tyson. Tyson is also another athlete who has a very, very short temper. In the second fight rematch between him and Holyfield in 1997, Tyson received $30 million while Holyfield received $35 million. The highest paid professional until 2007. During the fight, Tyson bit on both of Holyfield's ears. The first time the incident occurred, the match was stopped, but resumed. It was only when a piece of Holyfield's right ear was bitten off that the fight was over. Holyfield retaliated with a headbutt, but no penalty was given. Tyson's pay cut was down by $3 million and his boxing license was rescinded. Number 3 is Kermit Washington. Washington is a talented and well-loved player in the NBA. No one expected him to throw punches the way he did in '73. The incident occurred in a game against the Houston Rockets. He punched Tomljanovic almost to death, leaving him in a pool of blood. Kevin Cooner and Abdul-Jabbar were involved in the brawl. Washington was fined $10,000 and suspended for 60 days. Tomljanovic had to undergo 5 surgeries, which ended his career as an NBA player. Number 2 is Todd Bertuzzi. March 8th of 2004, a memorable game between the Canucks and the Avalanches. In the third period, it seemed that Todd Bertuzzi was trying to instigate a fight between him and Stephen Moore. When that was not successful, Bertuzzi skated towards Moore, punching him repeatedly while grabbing his jersey. Moore was knocked out and suffered 3 fractured vertebrae, facial cuts, and a head concussion. Bertuzzi was suspended but reinstated for the 05-06 game. Last but not least on our list is Tahir Domi. Domi is a retired Canadian professional ice hockey player who played for the Toronto Maple Leafs, New York Rangers, and Winnipeg Jets. Despite his hiatus between 1990 to 95, Domi's place in home stood with the Maple Leafs. The fans loved him, especially his ruthless playing style. Sadly, he is not most memorable for good things. Throughout his career, he had most penalty minutes than any other player in Maple Leaf history. 365 almost for every day of the year in the 97 to 98 season, and he is also known for his short fuse. He would punch with his left hand while holding his jersey with his right. He was also suspended for 8 games when he sucker punched Ulf Samuelsson of the New York Rangers because the latter called him a tie dummy. In 2001 season, Domi sprayed a heckler with his water bottle. I tell you what, I don't know if it's roid rage or just pure aggression, but I think it's a little bit of both. That concludes our list for top 10 athletes with short fuses. If you enjoyed this raged out episode, click subscribe and don't hesitate to join us again for another edition of Top 10 List.